What up everybody, it's Martin Sosa. Today we're talking about how to just crush and destroy negative thinking forever. You know what I mean? Because negative thoughts are those things that get in the way of doing what we really want to do and being who we really want to be. You know, it's just like, the way I like to think of it is like a little dude that likes to chime in at the worst moments. Like he'll just be like, hey, I don't know about this. You know, I don't know if you're good enough. I don't know if you have what it takes. There's so many other people who have done it. What makes you different? You know, it's just like all these just doubts. It comes a lot of times in the form of doubt, and we just have to like retrain that voice and replace it with something that's going to empower us, that's going to benefit us. That doesn't mean completely ignoring the negative, because there's value in that, right? We can grow from that. But not letting that take over and control us, but really mastering it and making that voice in our head serve us and benefit us and push us forward to express and be who we really are. So that's really what we're going to tackle today, and I'm going to give you some simple steps to do it. So the first step is to really identify that voice. Every time you hear that voice, like point it out, identify it, because then you can start to recognize when that chimes in. I know a lot of us, and I know myself included, I used to think that voice was just me, you know, like, oh, those are my own thoughts, and any thought that popped into my head, it was like the truth, it was just reality, instead of realizing some thoughts are just part of the like processing things. Some thoughts are just passing thoughts, right? When you hold on to them, when you engage them, or when you see them and embrace them as truth, that's when they stick around, right? Especially when they're negative thoughts, that's what's going to damage you, and that's what's going to prevent you from doing and being who you want to be. Number two is you got to question or mock that thought, right? Because when a thought pops in, it's easy, like I said before, to just take it as truth, right? Oh, it's in my head, it must be real, right? It's like something on TV, you know, anytime you watch something, doesn't mean it's real, it's just something that's on there, something that's on like the display of your mind. So identify it, and then like, let's say the thought comes up of, oh, what if I'm not good enough? You know, what if I don't have what it takes? You gotta kind of question it. Is that really true? Am I really not good enough? You know, and something that I realized further than that is you want to mock it, because anytime something is in a silly or ridiculous voice, it sounds stupid, right? And the way I see this, and you don't have to embrace this truth or not, but this is the truth that I believe, is that anything that's limitation or fear-based isn't who I really am. It's not my true spirit, you know what I mean? And so if I identify a thought, if I point it out, and I realize, and I question it as like, is this like a limiting thought? This is something that's limiting. This isn't something that's representing my true self and who I really am, then I gotta get rid of this thing, right? And so by mocking it, it makes that voice sound stupid and less likely for me to embrace it or to accept it as truth. So an example of that would be just like saying, well, I guess I'm just not good enough. You know, something that sounds so ridiculous that makes you just like crack up and laugh at it, you know, because at that point you're like, dude, this is bullshit, right? This isn't a real thing. This is just some stupid thought. The next step is where we really take action further and like condition it. It has to do with neuroplasticity, and literally like the way you can think about it is like any other habit, thoughts are habits, emotions are habits. So, and we talked about emotions a little bit last week, but when you think something over and over again, it's like training your brain to go there naturally. And so a lot of times, if we haven't trained our brains consciously, we just adopt whatever's in the environment. We adopt whatever's around us, and our brain creates habits in that way, right? So for a lot of us, we do have those negative thought habits. So what we want to do is start making it a new habit of triggering empowering thoughts, right? So it's not enough. What I'm really saying is it's not enough to just get rid of that old thought and mock and question it. You need to replace it with something that's going to empower you, something that's the truth. So, you know, so going back to that fear and that negative thought of like, oh, you know, what if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have what it takes? And replace it with, dude, I am more than enough. You know, I was born with everything I need inside me. So replace it with the truth, something that resonates with you on a soul level, where when you say it, it's just like, ooh, like that has power and resonance to it. You know what I mean? So that's really it. If you want to get rid of those thoughts, make it a habit of conditioning it. First, identify them. You know, point them out in your brain. Don't just let them swim around and hang out for free. 2, question it and mock that thought. And 3, create the new habit of empowering and beneficial thoughts that are going to really just reflect who you are. So that's what's up. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.